No matter how dark, always let your soul glow. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for another round of I Played a Thing, Dark Souls. Last time we did some initial exploration of the Firelink Shrine and the Undead Berg, went over some of the basics, and got Salad to her first bonfire within the Berg. And today I am planning on doing a little more progression deeper into the Undead Berg, and maybe we'll even get that first halberd for our newly minted halberd specialist. We'll just have to see how that goes. And we'll also have to see if I get invaded, since I am human in a place that people like to gank new players in. He's going for the backstab there, didn't quite get it. I have spent more time recently with Dark Souls 2, in which the backstab sweet spots are a little different. I'm just going to have to retrain myself to the original Dark Souls sweet spots. That's what I like to see. What's going on over here? I don't think this is supposed to be a fog door. Well, I think that might mean I've been invaded. That's not terribly surprising. Generally speaking, when you get invaded, a bunch of fog doors will spring up to keep you confined to your initial area. Haven't gotten any messages about being invaded yet. Perhaps it's just taking its sweet time to actually get the other player connected with me. Come on, PvP ganker, where you at? I don't want to bother proceeding too far into the level if someone's just going to murder me. Ow. Mind the firebombs. That was really careless of me. I've got to get into my groove here because I'm playing like a complete idiot. Right here, I believe this is a door that requires the residence key. Indeed it is. I don't actually have to have the residence key for this one because I believe the master key would take care of it if we didn't. But there are some keys that the residence key will open that the master key will not. It's not good for every residence key door. So it's good to have the proper key for that door in any case. Oh, and you may notice that my humanity counter just increased. Just killing a bunch of enemies in one area of the game where the boss is not yet dead, that will, after a certain number of enemies are defeated, increase your humanity counter by 1. Just another way to get it besides using humanity items and that sort of thing. Oh, and that gold pine resin that I picked up from that chest a moment ago, I should probably explain that. The gold pine resin is a weapon buff that temporarily gives your weapon the lightning element. So, very handy against enemies that are vulnerable to lightning, and keeps you from having to carry around a dedicated lightning weapon. That spear guy was actually about to come out of his dedicated turtle mode even without me kicking him, but hey, giving him a little kick for his stun doesn't hurt anyway. Oh wow, he's really stuck to me. That's one thing I really miss about Dark Souls 2, or rather something I really miss in Dark Souls 2. They got rid of the enemy corpse ragdolls. Enemy corpses always disappear in Dark Souls 2, so you can't sort of juggle them along with your feet. Very good idea to go up this tower and take out the crossbowman there before proceeding onward, otherwise you are likely to get shot in the back as you deal with the two guys down there. Let's just take a moment to eyeball that gold pine resin. As it indicates, very effective against dragon family foes. But very effective against a lot of other things as well. Lightning is not an element that is very well resisted by enemies in this game. That never stops being satisfying. Yes, I'll be careful with that. Oh shit, I forgot all about the trap there. Yeah, I really am out of practice. I am blowing through my Estus like gangbusters. I'm going to have to get a little better here if I'm going to stand any decent chance. And not completely forget about all the traps, because certainly there are plenty of them in this game. This requires a different key, not the residence key, one that I can't remember the name of. The master key obviously will take care of it, but there's really no point in me going down here just yet. There's a pretty tough guy down there. Nobody that I couldn't take with a little care, but at this point in the game, one mistake would probably be enough, because I'm almost certain he'd one-shot me at my current vitality. So yeah, I'm not confident in my ability to make zero mistakes. So we'll leave that fella for later. Somewhere over here, I believe there should be a crystal lizard in the barrels. That's probably what that message is about. There it is. These guys you want to kill before they can escape, because they carry ore. And ore is good for upgrading our weapons and equipment. Pretty much something you can never get too much of. Hey, Twinkling Titanite. That's a pretty good prize, actually. Amazing item. Yeah, I suppose 2 Twinkling Titanite is pretty nifty. Amazing might be a bit much. Going through this way, we'd be ready to take on the boss, but I'm gonna do a little bit more with myself before I cross that bridge, now that I've cleared out some of the enemies here. With a few exceptions, enemies in Dark Souls will not respawn unless you rest at the bonfire. Be wary of night. Yep, that's the plan. There is in fact a Black Knight down here, which is a rare non-respawning enemy. There are a few enemies in the game, usually ones that are considered particularly tough for non-boss enemies that do not respawn at all. And this guy is one of them. This is one of Lord Gwyn's Black Knights. This could easily go really wrong for me, but I'm gonna take a stab at it. No pun intended. Shit. I was hoping to get the backstab on him, but when you're sneaking up on someone, the timing has to be fairly precise for that. Oh. Well, at least this guy's not one-shotting me. I'm gonna get him out of this little corridor here, somewhere I can have a little bit of a cleaner fight with him. And as you can see, I was doing rather poor damage with straight attacks. So what I'm gonna do is just try and fish for backstabs on this guy. That way I can actually put a little hurt on him. His recovery from failed attacks, as you can see, is not particularly good, so if he goes for a combo on you and blows it, That's a very good time to get your backstab in. Of course, I may still fail from time to time. Nuts. Over here, good Sir Knight. And expose your back, why don't you? Oh, shit! I got careless there, he broke my guard. Got a hit through on me. And you also have to be careful you don't get yourself murdered while you're trying to take a swig of your Estus. That was needlessly risky. What I'm really hoping for is that this gentleman will drop his shield, which is by no means a guaranteed drop, but there is a possibility he will, and that is a very nice shield that I would very much like to have. So before I try and take on the boss, I'm gonna go for it. Whew! Nice save on my part, if I dare say so myself. Damn it! Want that backstab. I've been missing them like crazy for these last couple attempts. Ah! No, get out of the way, Salad, thank you. Good thing I'm not committed to hurrying toward the boss, because I'm really going to have to stop and replenish my Estus. I've just been burning through it like gangbusters. I cannot hit my backstabs on this guy. He does like to twist around as he attacks, which can make it a little trickier, but I shouldn't be doing this badly. It's because I'm recording. That's the way this always... Careful there, Salad. Come on, you. Whoa! Oh, it's all gone wrong. And so we witness our first case of the "You died" message. A species very familiar to any Souls player, be it Dark, Demons, or Dark 2. We'll be seeing plenty more of it, I guarantee. And now I'm going to have to find my way back to my corpse in order to get my stuff back. So we can go a little more into how the death mechanic works. Well, one bright side is now that I am not in my human form, I am not at any risk for invasion. Holy... Welp! Lesson 2. In a Souls game, you can never take even the most minor of enemies as trivial, because the first enemy you take lightly and just get careless and screw around with will probably be the one that kills you. And here's the downside. I don't remember if I explained this properly in my previous videos, but when you die, your bloodstain is left on the ground, and you can go back to it and reclaim any souls and humanity that you dropped when you died. But then if you die again before you get back to your corpse, then, yeah, and your new bloodstain replaces the old, and any stuff that you had left with the previous bloodstain, it's just gone. So yeah, I've got 1 humanity and 4 digits of souls, which will become quite trivial later in the game, but this early in the game is a lot. It is just gone forever. All because I got a little hurried and greedy to get back to my previous bloodstain. Wow, this isn't going to happen again. It's quite enough of you. You know, this is just getting sad. I mean, I cautioned you I wasn't particularly good at this game, but dying 3 times on the first platform, well, dying 2 times on the first platform, 3 times in the undead berg overall, this is really quite shameful. You don't have to make me look bad, Dark Souls. I'm certain I can do it more than adequately without your help. Let's give myself a little space here, and a little space especially away from the firebombers. I'm just not hitting those backstabs today. My positioning is all wrong. Because you really do have to be right behind them. If you're a little off to one side or the other, it doesn't work. That's more like it. Now that this isn't covered in fog, we can see it a little better. It's a grate, and it is a shortcut. One that we'll be able to open from the other side later, just like that one we saw in the tunnel with the rat back in the previous video. That's what you get for trying to set me on fire. Come on over. Don't be shy. Backstab practice. Need lots of backstab practice. Now then. We'll play nice, we'll give him a chance to heal up. And then we'll end him. Oh, and I got a humanity point again. Well, that's nice. Jerk. No, you may not. Jug-a-lug. Well, at least we're back up into the double digits. I suppose that's nice. Ah, Titanite shard. Those are always nice to find. That's some of that ore that I talked about that we'll be using later to upgrade our stuff. That's a more mundane sort of ore. The twinkling Titanite is used to upgrade more unusual equipment. I'm going to give this another try, because I just don't learn. Let's see if I can get that starter backstab on him. The answer is no. Well, at least I'm going to learn a little bit. Going to bring him up to the platform here where I have a little more room to work around him. And if this fails again, I'll cut out any remaining attempts until I get this thing right. Gotta hit those backstabs. I'm not sure if these guys are bleedable. I don't think they are. Watch that stamina. Gotta remember to put my shield down when I get a chance. Now, I think he would have bled there if I had a chance, but then again, these are pretty tough enemies, so they might have big bleed build-up. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think Black Knights are vulnerable to bleed at all. Much less so than I am vulnerable to failures in English. Damn it. Need a backstab here, folks. Need a backstab. Just like that. That'll knock him down and give me a chance to do a little chug-a-lug. I like the way this is moving. Well, that wasn't a backstab, but every little bit counts, I suppose. That doesn't count. That's me getting hurt. I want to knock him down because I took a hit, and then I can have another little drinky poo. Damn it. A little off to the side again. It's hardly necessary to fight the Black Knight at this point in the game. I'm really doing it probably more early than the developers really expected. But it is doable at this point in the game, and I want to, because, you know, I could certainly use the souls, and I want to see if I can get that shield. Oh, that almost went really wrong. Haha! I missed the backstab, and I got it on the second try before he could recover. That was kind of satisfying. Go ahead and lunge all you want, sir. Yeah, you're almost dead. You're playing it careful now. Thankfully, these guys do not carry Estus and cannot recover their health. There we go. Well, I did not get the shield, which is what I was hoping for, but, well, I got the Black Knight sword, which I certainly won't be using, and I got a Titanite chunk, which makes up for the shield. Chunks are one of the higher-end standard upgrading ores, and they can be fairly hard to come by. So getting one so early in the game actually pleases me quite a bit. Tough enemy ahead? I hear you, game. And parrying does work very well against them if you're any good at it at all, which, as I have discussed previously, I am not, so yeah. And our reward is the blue tearstone ring, which I am actually considerably less happy about than the chunk, but we have nothing in our ring slots yet that actually does anything important, aside from the old witch's ring, which we won't be using for a while, so hey, no problem. And, as you can see here, when you are low in health, your defense goes up. Not terribly useful, because when your HP is that low, you're probably going to die if you get hit anyway, but you never know. Could save you in a very situational kind of situation. And it comes from Katarina. We'll be hearing more about the country of Katarina later. Doesn't really factor into the game in an important way, because we are going to be in Lordran throughout, but yeah, we'll get to learn a little more about Katarina later. It's over here, I don't remember. Yep, a sheer drop into canyon would count as a danger zone, I suppose. Alright, we've got a decent amount of Estus. So I think I'm going to go on ahead to the boss fight. Yeah, be wary of tough enemy. Like I said, there's a guy there that I am not quite ready to tangle with yet. Much like the Black Knight, you can beat him fairly early on by playing it careful and fishing for backstabs, but unlike the Black Knight, he would probably one-shot me. So forget that. Bridge here is where we're going to fight our first boss in the proper game, not counting the butt demon in the undead asylum. But he's got some covering fire up here on the tower, and we cannot accept that. Okay, not wanting to die here so much. Okay, while you guys swing at air and get caught up on each other, I'm going to take another drink. See, I thought I was going to interrupt him from drinking with my big leaping stab, but he was a little too fast on the chug for me. Plop! See, now that we've entered into the boss area, there's a fog gate keeping us from going back. Now, this boss, taking him on with the Thief Dagger is... well, that requires some very up-close and personal work, which I'm not entirely thrilled with, but I think he's bleed vulnerable, so we should be able to get some nice damage bonuses on him. And actually sticking close to him might not be an entirely bad thing. It's a little harder for him to hit you sometimes when you're at point-blank range. And here's our buddy, the Taurus demon. Just a big SOB with a big axe. Hurts a lot, won't one-shot us. Hurt quite a bit through my shield though, so I'll have to be careful about that. Gotta watch the timing of my rolls, too. Been quite a while since I fought this guy. Basically, the idea is stick somewhat close to him. Hey, there went the bleed. Not doing as much damage to him as I'd quite like, though, and he just hurt me by stepping on me, which he can do. Not terribly surprising considering his magnitude. Yeah, this is not a weapon I would really like to fight him with so much. I may actually die here, which is kind of embarrassing, dying to this particular feller, but... you know, we'll just do our best and let the chips fall where they may. Taking a lot of damage from his feet, which is not particularly pleasing, nor is meeting my end. Yeah, I think I'd like to find a slightly better weapon for this particular situation. And a 100% damage reduction shield would help a lot too. I'm used to having one of those by the time I get to him. Not a big fan of getting shot in the back either. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Actually, a little surprised I haven't gotten a shield drop from one of the guys with the metal shields. They're often pretty generous about dropping them. That would be a decent 100% damage reduction shield, but since the game doesn't seem willing to give me one just yet... God damn it. This is probably going to be another long video, folks. Some of you indicated in the comments of the last video that you don't mind those so much, and that's good, because I think if I keep playing this badly, just to get any progress in the game, I'm going to have to do a number of them. Come on out. I know you're there. Ah, you.
Oh, there you are. Still keeping your marbles all together? Then go ahead, don't be a nitwit. Never hurts to splurge when your days are numbered.
Good advice. Got anything new to say?
Oh, this one. Ain't she lovely? Her name is Yulia. She's plumb in love with me. You'd never leave my side now, would you, Yulia?
Are you in love with a bucket? I think he's in love with a bucket. Moving right along.
Oh, you can forget it. I'm all that she needs. Careful! She'll bite your little fingers off. Be kind, Yulia, be kind.
I assure you, I have no designs on your bucket, sir.
Now, don't squander your time chatting. You need to look over my wares.
That's true. I'm sure you need to keep Yulia in the lifestyle to which she's accustomed. Now then, I know you've got some shields here. We're gonna need 1,000 for a heater shield. That is the first one he has that's 100% damage reduction.
What a waste of time. Go and fall off a cliff.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be doing that at least once or twice more over the course of the game. I've already done it once in a ridiculously stupid blind fall, so I'm expecting that'll be an indication of things to come. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get myself some more souls in the interest of eventually affording this. Or if I'm very lucky, one of these gentlemen with the hefty shields will drop one for me. You can get a very respectable shield that way. Actually, the Hollow Soldier Shield, which is the one that those guys carry, in the very initial release of Dark Souls, before they had put out any patches, it was actually one of the best mid-size shields in the game. And they nerfed it quite heavily when the patches started coming out, because it really was kind of silly to have one of the first shields you can get your hands on be such an outstanding one. Getting a little too zealous with my R1 combos there. I'm just trying to fly through and take out all my foes in a hurry, in part because I've wasted so much time getting killed in stupid ways. But you just can't do that in Dark Souls. Even in areas that aren't terribly dangerous, rushing tends to get you murdered. Who wants some? Spear guys do like to take their time with walking as opposed to, or in addition to attacking. I don't think they ever run. I don't think I've ever seen one run. Ha! That's what I was trying to do the previous time. That bleed is satisfying. Just to show you what I mean about the Black Knight not responding. Yep. Anyway, I've got that 1,000 souls I need now, so let me pick up that heater shield and then we'll have another go at the Taurus demon.
Oh, you again. I hope you brought... Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Nee-hee-hee-hee-hee. What else have we got in terms of weapons? And just not strong enough for the winged spur, which is very sad. Now, since I don't have access to anything remotely halberd-like at this point, I guess I could use the Morning Star. It does have a heftier physical attack. Doesn't have the bleed bonus, though. Oh, wait, yes it does. Okay. Well, it's not a halberd, and it's not halberd-like, but at this moment it appears to be about the best we can do. Morning Star is definitely at least going to be a somewhat better choice for a boss fight than the Bandit's Knife. So I'm a little better equipped now. Won't be taking so much damage through my shield when I have to block the Taurus demon's attacks. I can put a little more hurt on him with this here spiky ball on a stick. So hopefully this will work out a little better for our dear salad. I'm not a huge fan of that moveset. Kind of a slow weapon. Let me experiment with that a bit more. That looks kind of clumsy. Am I sure I have the stats for it? Yeah, I do. I guess it just doesn't really have much of a combo. I've never really used this weapon. Backstep attack. Jumping attack. And rolling attack. Yeah, now I'm down, with the equipment I'm wearing, I am down to the mid-speed roll. This is not the fast roll anymore. Just to show you the contrast, let me take off some of this heavier stuff. Not a good look for you, Salad. That's the fast roll. As you can see, I'm back up to my feet pretty much instantly. But I don't really mind the mid-roll. A lot of people hate it, but I don't really have a problem with it. What's up here? I don't remember. Anything? Oh, what am I thinking? This is the path up to the boss door. I'm not thinking straight. Took that big axe to the head one too many times. So yeah, I am not really in love with the moveset on this Morning Star, but, you know, I've never really given it a try. We'll see how it works out. Well, it certainly does more damage per hit. By the way, it is possible to lure the Taurus demon over here and do a plunging attack off the tower onto him. Does quite a bit of damage, but I'm trying not to resort to that. It's also not entirely reliable. At least I can recover my corpse here, so I'll have my stuff if I die again. Bring it, Mr. Big Stuff. Okay, now at least I am not taking damage when he hits my shield. Watch that stamina. God damn, I get really sick of those foot attacks. Barely got out of the way of that one in time. I'm not very good at the timing with it, but you will occasionally see me making some use out of the iframes on my roll to go through one of his attacks with it. Like that. Oh! Off the tower! How embarrassing. Okay, I think at this point you've seen me screwing around a fair bit. I'm just going to cut out until I have a successful run on the Taurus demon, and I will see you afterward. Can't believe I'm dying this much against the first boss. Victory achieved, finally. That took a little more work than I'm used to. I guess I have my level up a little higher than this usually before I fight the Taurus demon, but things worked out in the end. Got a nice big stockpile of souls now for this stage of the game. And one other thing about this, you will notice what I was fighting with. Yes, during one of my runs back up to attempt this, one of which actually failed due to my controller crapping out, I got one of the spear guys, just one of the hollow spearmen, to drop their spear, And it turns out that unlike the winged spear, it's a little bit easier on the strength requirement, so I could actually wield this. So it's a major part of the halberd, so at least we're moving closer to our eventual weapon specialty. We'll just take a quick look at its moveset. The spear's R1 combo is just a series of straightforward thrusts, nothing exciting there. The R2 is a strong straightforward thrust. If you roll, it's a vertical chop. Backstep and run forward and thrust. And its two-handed attacks are all straightforward thrusts as well. The spear is a very specialized weapon. It's just straightforward thrusts. Weapons of its type are pretty much all like that. But they've got good range, and if you just want to control the area in front of you, they're quite handy for that. Spears also have one very unique property, which is you can attack from behind your shield. There are a couple others that can do this in Dark Souls 2, but as of Dark Souls 1, the spears and the thrusting swords are the only weapons that allow you to guard and attack at the same time. Oh, we get a bonus lost soul, or large soul of a lost undead for our trouble. And also, Salad has a lovely wooden flappy necklace. Now then. Oh yes, this is where that guy lives. We're about to meet one of the most beloved characters of Dark Souls. Hey, buddy.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. Do you find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
So yes, Solaire, aka Sunbro.
Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment.
I'm all ears.
The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
Well, it's always good to have friends, and I certainly like the design of your pauldrons there. Very green and leafy, like my own head.
This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
Jolly cooperation. One of Solaire's most iconic lines. And indeed, the white sign soapstone that he left for us allows us to engage in co-op. If you use the white sign soapstone, you can leave your mark on the ground, and other players can touch it and be drawn into your world for a co-op session. As the description here says, hollows cannot conduct summons. In order to summon or be summoned, you do have to be in human form. Well, that's true of really any facet of the multiplayer. And you got a little explanation there of how the multiplayer is explained in in-game terms. That is, it's different people in different sort of instantiations of the game world. Sort of the parallel worlds kind of model. Just moving into each other's worlds and helping each other out, or invading each other and trying to kill each other. Whatever your style happens to be. But Solaire's got a few more words for us. What's that sign at his feet say? Haha, praise the sun. How appropriate.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
And there's another of Solaire's very iconic lines. If only I could be so grossly incandescent. Well, Solaire, it has truly been a pleasure. We'll be seeing more of our fine buckethead friend in the near future. Here's a door that we won't be able to deal with right away. We've got more immediate concerns. That's kind of some suspicious scorch marking there on the bridge, and I'm failing at gameplay, failing at pronunciation, all kinds of things today. So let's approach with caution. Oh God! Yep, that's that dragon type of thing we briefly saw when we were first entering the undead berg. Got a little too close and forgot where the trigger point is and got myself kind of singed there. What we're going to try and do is make a run forward into a safe spot on the right side of the bridge that will protect us from the flames. Hurry, Salad, hurry. And down we go. Okay, this isn't what we need just yet. I want to go down a little bit further. I believe this is what I'm looking for. Yes! This room should look familiar. It's the very first bonfire we found in the undead berg. And remember when I told you we'd be using this ladder later as a shortcut? Punt! Yes, shortcut. Very good. Well, let's see if we can gain ourselves some levels and get any closer to our strength requirements for some of the good stuff. Now we are eventually going to be needing 16 strength, but getting it up to 14 would be a good start. Oh wow, we can get it all the way up as far as we need, and now that it's at 16, we are never going to have to worry about strength again. Let's see, we'll take some endurance, a little vitality. Yeah, we gained quite a few levels there. I think that's good for the moment. Alright. So we can use the winged spear now. But we can also use another item that I picked up from one of the hollow soldiers during the part that I cut out. Excuse me. The battle axe. Let's play with another half of the halberd. Moveset for this is pretty basic. Doesn't really have a combo with R1. R2 gives you a vertical chop. Rolling attack. Like so. Backstep attack. Like so. Oh, and we got some attention. It's a relatively clumsy weapon, but I do like the damage on it. Two hits to break down a dude. That's what I like to see. Or we can one-shot him with an R2. Very nice. And what I am doing now is heading back to Firelink Shrine, because I'm going to see if we can't close out this session with our very first proper halberd. And now that we've got the shortcut unlocked, we can easily get back to where we were, if need be, if I could stop from getting gangbanged here. Here we are, the return trip. Back through the aqueduct kind of tunnel. Now the rat's acting like it normally does. I remember when we encountered it before, it immediately turned on and tried to kill me, whereas usually it's the kind of rat that has the runaway AI. That time it did in fact try and run away like it normally does. Oh god! Nearly really embarrassed myself again there. But those axe murders, they sure are satisfying. Have to admit, I could get used to this. Felt very clumsy at first, but... Hey, we have a message floating in midair. Good luck indeed. Not sure how someone did that, if they manipulated the physics somehow, or maybe they were hacking. Anyway, let me take a look, see if I found enough souls on the rebound to get another level, and in fact I did. We'll put another one into endurance. We do want to get that up to 40 and get our equip load and our stamina up. Being a very shield tanky player, as I mentioned, I want all the stamina I can get. So what I'm going to do now is going to be a little bit of a suicide run to get myself a halberd. It is a very, very beloved weapon of mine, and is pretty much the main reason why I'm happy halberds were selected for my weapon of choice. Or my weapon class of choice, I should say. If I can successfully complete this suicide run to get this weapon, then it's going to be my bread and butter throughout the game, I expect. But I'll not only be running through the graveyard, but an even more dangerous part of the game that I really have no business in being yet. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. If I pull this off correctly, we can get our hands on that much-desired weapon without actually having to fight, and without getting ourselves killed. Just gotta bypass all the skeletons out here. No time for love once again. And take ourselves down, down, down to the catacombs. Well, that was pretty stupid, wasn't it? Yeah, there's a left turn coming up there that I need to have a run through, but didn't quite do it properly. Left turn was a little bit later than I thought, so I took a left into the abyss. Oh, that wacky salad. Now then, second verse, hopefully not same as the first. Yoink. There's always time for treasure. Gotta mind that stamina. Those pink things are basically explosive enemies. They just try to approach you and then catch you in their blast radius. Not really any point in trying to fight them. This is that left turn that I was over-anticipating. We just head on down here, and there is a lever I have to trip. You are invulnerable in Dark Souls while manipulating levers. This is no longer the case in Dark Souls 2, but that's not our problem right now. So that's goal number 1 taken care of, just getting that lever pulled. Got a skeleton really crawling up my ass here. We can't have... Whoa! Careful there, champ. We don't want to stay and fight these guys. They will kind of overwhelm me. But so far, aside from that initial slip-up with the overzealous left turn, this is really not going too badly. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I definitely shouldn't have said that. Oh, God. This isn't where I wanted to be, but I actually did get a halberd. Not the halberd I came here for, but it's a halberd. But let's see if we can not only leave it at the lucerne, but get the one that I actually came in here for. No, I just made a wrong... No, this is actually correct. Okay. Okay, we're good. This is where I wanted to be. This is really kind of nerve-wracking. Okay, so now what I want to do... Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. I'm no longer confident in where I am. No, I don't want to fight. This has gone so wrong. I totally forget where I... Oh. Well, if nothing else, I have acquired a halberd. Not the halberd, but a halberd. That might be enough for now. I can come back and get the other one later if I get killed here, which is looking increasingly likely. Go... Fog door? Oh, why not? Oh, and there's a gate I can't get through. Okay, forget it. We're just going to advance. Well, in a perverse sort of way, this actually kind of works out. Oh, we've got multiple floating messages now. Wow, Let There Be Light has been rated over 10,000 times. I'm impressed. Anywho, let's take a quick look at the halberd I got. As I was saying, this actually works okay. We will use this halberd for a while, and then I'll come back later and get the really nice one. This weapon is simply known in the Dark Souls titling as lucerne, but what it is a lucerne hammer. Halberd with a large beak-like protrusion inflicts thrust damage. Instead of thrusting like a sphere, the wielder of the lucerne aims to club the head with its hard beak. And the lucerne hammer is slightly unusual in that it does exclusively pierce damage. Nice big hunk of metal there. Let's take a few swings. So the basic R1 attack is a vertical chop. R2 is a big horizontal sweep. Rolling gets you another horizontal sweep. And the backstep attack is a lunging vertical chop. And of course we have the two-handed options. The R2 is particularly nice because that spin attack hits twice if I'm not mistaken. Now, one quirk of halberds is, if you swing and miss, then your character has a staggering animation. But that only happens if you hit nothing but air. If you actually strike an enemy, that interrupts the stagger animation and you can keep on attacking. Let's just kill a few fodder enemies and demonstrate that real quick like. Oop. Gotta get used to swinging something a little slower. See, no stumble. And even the R1 is enough to one-shot an enemy at this point. One of the basic enemies, I should say, just these hollow peons. So this is the basic halberd moveset. Of course, there are some halberds that behave a little differently, but they'll mainly be variations on what we're seeing with the lucerne hammer here. And I believe I've taken up more than enough of your time with my shenanigans for one session. Pardon the rather incautious play today, but at least we got a halberd, even if it wasn't the one I was aiming for. There's a nicer one, much deeper into the catacombs, that we'll be retrieving probably sooner than later, maybe after the next boss fight. Because it's really nice, and that's going to be the one that I mainly stick to once I get it. For now, however, it has been very nice seeing you all once again, and I hope you will join me soon for more I Played a Thing Dark Souls. Till then, take care.